1v1 Calderis Refinery blue side. Malgains plays a Kommando Nob, fights range by default, can get a melee weapon, puts out some pretty nice damage, lots of sneaky orc tricks, can infiltrate. Red side, oxoisimba plays an Eldar Warlock, offensive melee, quite mobile, can tank and disrupt pretty well late game depending on how you gear him out. 3 VPs up for grabs. North is natural for Oxo, south natural for Malgains, and a central in this huge circle area. Double shooters for Malgains, light ranged infantry, pretty nice DPS, solid tier 1 unit, scaled decently well with their Nob leaders. And Oxo has gone for Howling Banshees, light melee unit with power weapons, bit of a glass cannon. Starts off with Guardians, light ranged unit. And Malgains has his sluggers. He's coming center and is going to kick off with the Warlock, it looks like. Warlock is all alone. Howling Banshees and Guardians might join in, and he's backing off. Well played for his units to come. It's going to be 3v3 here, a melee unit, a range unit, and the commander. Kommando Nob is stealth. Does some pretty nice damage with that twin link shooter of his. Warlock is getting focused down a lot. Banshees going into the Kommando Nob, and he's in trouble now. Knocked down. Banshees are great at that. Warlock kites very well and gets away, but the Kommando Nob does not. Stun bomb was a bit late, and Banshees get away without a loss, as do the Guardians, and both of the Orc units. War was used, you can tell by the yellow circle. Didn't help take down the Warlock though. Ranger squad on the way for Oxo, will probably be double Rangers. Rangers and the Shuriken might be nice. I always like the Immolator versus double shooters. We'll see what the Warlock goes for. Perhaps the Merciless Witchblade against such an energy intensive commander who has been repurchased by Malgains. Ranger squad just took a casualty there, I think. Sluggers retreat, and big shooters on the shooter boys. 2 in the squad gives them a nice DPS increase and allows them to suppress. This squad does not have shooters, so they cannot suppress those Banshees who get into melee range of a retreating squad, and 2 members go down quick time. Here comes the Warlock, going to try and tie up these shooters. Damage is not to be sniffed at though in tier 1, as you can see. Melting down those Banshees. Can they get into melee without losing a model? They can, even though they were suppressed. Nice stun bomb. Malgains did catch himself though. Also has his stick bombs, you can tell by the grenade icon above the commander. So that could be very, very nasty for these squishy Eldar squads. Rangers getting shots off. Very nice ranger play by Oxo. Far, far away from the engagement, which is where you want them. And a 2-1 for Malgains despite the early commander loss. And infiltrates away. Rangers are the detector unit for Eldar, tell by the eye above their unit indicator there. Warlock has gone for the Merciless Witchblade, draining energy from this Kommando Nob on each hit, knocks him down with a special attack there, but does not follow up with sluggers waiting. In their default state, more of a workman-like melee unit, nothing special until they get their slugger and burners, and then he can be very, very dangerous. Usually used for capping in tier 1, taking casualties from Rangers. Don't want to get into a fight with Banshees unsupported and get the hell out of there. Now gonna be a 2-1 for Oxo. Is it? Can he finish this cap? Looks like he's gonna be able to. Shooter boys coming out of base. The other squad also coming out of base. Triple gens down for Malgains and also for Oxo. Have a quick look at the resources. Wreck income slightly higher for Malgains, lower upkeep I imagine, with that ranger squad in there. Guardians have their battle equipment, such a good upgrade for these guys. Boost their health, gives them a shield and a very nasty grenade. Warlock has his champion's robe on, but it's forced off. by double shooters and the Kommando Nob. Nob leader on his guys. Stick bombs in the retreat path just off target. Could have wiped that squad there. Rangers taking pot shots, taking out models with each hit unless they hit a leader. And we do see double rangers from Oxo. Here is the second squad. Very nasty bleed potential now. Constant reinforcing for Malgains. Might see some Storm Boys perhaps, that would be quite risky though. Here come Banshees melting under fire, good grief, down to 2 models. Just about got out of there. Really need distort field on them if they're going to run in like that. Global ability of the Warlock. In go the stick bombs. Might take out 2 Rangers, 1 gets away of that squad. And full retreat from Malgains after that little push. Should have came around here and started shooting up generators, I think. Was going after model losses instead. 4-6-5-3-8-1, a 2-to-1 for Malgains. Warlock comes mid though. Sluggers still on capping duty. The 2 edge power nodes untouched in terms of capping, and Slugger's going to try and take the west. Who's going to hit tier 2 first? Looks like Oxo has the power advantage. Malgains having getting big shooters and Nob leaders of both of these shooter boy squads and those stick bombs and extra equipment, so he's spent quite a lot of power and still has a unit disadvantage, though fully upgraded shooters are pretty tasty in tier 1. Guardians take the east side. Howling Banshees are heading to the west, gonna chop up this node perhaps. Sluggers just retreat. And Malgains head centre, 450, 370. Guardians decapping his fully matured rec point, was up to plus 30 a minute. And tier 2 for Oxo. What are we going to see in tier 2 then? Falcon would be nice. Kommando Nob cannot get his anti-vehicle weapon until tier 3. Warlock levels to 2, puts up his shield, gets into range, does he? Excellent stun bomb usage by Malgains, does stun his own shooters though, quite unlucky there. Here come the other shooter boys. Stun lasts quite a long time, as you can see. Rangers are stacking up the shots here on these shooter boys. Malgains needs to be careful of this squad, down to 2 models. Concentrating on the Warlock and down to just a Nob leader, and they just about get out of there, and so does this squad, down to 4 models. Kommando Nob, is he going to try and exact revenge on these Rangers with some stick bombs? He might be, and does, but they retreat, so he cancels it. Warlock knocks him down. Pretty nice destructive melee from the Warlock. Draining energy with each hit. Puts up his shield and stops the chase because the Kommando Nob has infiltrated. Banshees whacking on generators, which they are decently good at. Now have their Exarch, who gets her spear because they have their aspect. So that gen is not going to last long. Can Malgains defend it? Perhaps some stick bombs in there. Sluggers won't last long in their default state against fully upgraded Banshees though. Replaces that generator. Second generator goes down. There is the war shout. Here comes a bunch of shooters, and Banshees need to leave and lose a model, and they're not retreating here, and they lose another model, do they? Yes. Stick bombs in the retreat path. Decent effort from Malgains, just a tad too early. Again, that could have been a squad wipe if he just got it a bit later. Bright Lance weapon team for Oxo seems to be reading the mind of Malgains, who has gone for a Death Dread Orc walker vehicle. Pretty nasty in melee, especially against infantry, but not the toughest walk around. Is getting burners and bits though, so it will be decently tough. Grenade goes in, well dodged by Malgains, only hit 1 model. Bright Lance not very effective against infantry at all. 402, 370 is a 1-to-1. Death Dread stomping its way into the middle, not very mobile. Does have that special ability though, that boosts speed. Oxo perhaps expecting a quick vehicle against those double rangers. Now fully kitted out with Heart of Darkness, so this is a pretty tough Warlock now. Here come Banshees. Distort Field goes down on them, that's the global ability of the Warlock. Stick bombs go in, ouch, pretty nasty too, but they do force off all of those Orks. Here comes the Kommando Nob, not sure what he's up to, forcing melee on rangers. Death Dread using its burners to take out generators. Are the Banshees going to engage? No, they try and take out the Kommando Nob instead. Can they get a couple more hits in? So quick on their feet, chasing retreating units. I don't think they're going to be able to do it though. And the Death Dread trundles off. Tier 3 for Oxo. How is Malgains going to respond here? Bright Lance could set up, get a couple of hits on a Death Dread. Bright Lance does pretty nasty DPS to vehicles, but does not snare them like las cannons do. And a war truck on the way from Malgains to support his infantry. Sluggers have their burners, but they don't have their Nob leader yet. Death Dread back on generator burning duty, is it? It's stomping away. Might go after these Guardians. They really don't want to tussle with the Death Dread. Has a ridiculous special attack. Look at the range it has. Here comes Malgains in force. Sluggers taking casualties in the middle from Rangers. Where are they? There they are. Keeping his Rangers separate from his main force. Good play by Oxo. Here come Banshees. Will they be suppressed? Yes they will. And they don't want to tussle with the Death Dread double shooter support. Not to mention that Kommando Nob. And the war truck is coming into the center. Support vehicle for Orks allows them to transport and reinforce. But pretty weak as vehicles go. Death Dread finishes off. The power farm does it. One more volley from the flamers and down it goes. Really excellent at taking out generators, I think. Stick bombs on the Rangers, they retreat and get away. Shotgun for the Kommando Nob. This guy's pretty dangerous now. We saw the high explosive shells on those Banshees. Will the war truck survive here? Just about gets away. Banshees getting rear armor is bad. Got to be suppressed now, they will. Has really used the aiming what's that well in this game, Malgains. 380, 302 is a double for Malgains. Banshees cutting it close, staying in the fight, very low on health, but well played by Oxo. Because they've done their job, forced off these shooters and done loads of casualties. Warlocks should turn around and try and finish with that squad. Can't quite take out a Nob leader with 6 hit points. Ouch, look at the Banshees though go down. Excellent play by Malgains. Shotgun high powered shot and finish them off in melee. Nasty stuff. That was a fully upgraded Banshee squad. Big loss for Oxo. Just caught the end of that engagement and now a Falcon is on the way. Guardians not using their embolden ability against the Kommando Nob there. And there's not anything these Rangers or these Guardians can do to this Death Dread, though it is backing off because it's quite low on health. And Malgains doesn't want to lose this thing. Level 2 this guy. 380, 255 is a 2-to-1. Bright Lance pushing up. Gonna try and keep that war truck and Death Dread away. How's he gonna set this thing up? So the weak spot would be to approach from here. Malgains is going up the east flank with double shooters fully upgraded. And the Fire Prism is on the way. Excellent fire support for Eldar. has a spread shot and a focus shot. 376, 250, tier 3 from Malgains. Can he get Nob squad on the field? Guardians moving up. Can they get a grenade? No, stopped by a shotgun to the face. Ouch. Shotgun also passively knocks units back. Such a great anti-infantry weapon, especially light infantry. Bang, even knocks down commanders, as you can see. Fire Prism comes in with the spread shot, which has knockback. Stun bomb, again very well used by Malgains. And can he focus down this Warlock? Just gets away. Bright Lance moving up, but there's no vehicles here. Where is the Death Dread? Death Dread is now repaired by the Sluggers, who now might repair this war truck perhaps? Yes. No sign of their Nob leader yet. Warp Spiders on the field for Oxo. Teleporting infantry that do serious range damage to other infantry. Can really melt squads down quickly. Also can get aspects of Warp Spider, giving them a high wire grenade, which will help versus these two vehicles Malgains have, which haven't really been in a whole lot of trouble apart from that war truck escaping the Banshees, which are now dead of course. And look at this, Nob leader goes for his rocket launcher to try and take out this Fire Prism. Right in me crosshairs is so nasty, getting rear arm hits on that thing, and look at it, almost going down. War truck does go down. Bright Lance, and look at the damage to those Warp Spiders. Sluggers do have their Nob leader using Swampum and running riot amongst these Eldar. Now some serious walkie carnage. Fire Prism back in the hell off. Here comes the Death Dread. Sluggers doing excellently well here, and retreat in the end up to level 2 these guys now. Warlock taking out a model with a sync kill. Is he going to engage the Death Dread? Looks like he is. Done decently well in this game, I think, the Warlock. Now getting shot to crap though. Aiming, what's that again used? Fire Prism getting focus shots on this Death Dread. Needs to move forward. One more shot would finish it, but it's not moving forward here. And instead shoots up the shooters, and the Death Dread lives to see another day. Here comes that Kommando Nob infiltrated. Here come double rangers and Warp Spiders though. And there's right in my crosshairs. Against infantry uses it, which can be devastating if they're clumped up. Stick bombs thrown. Rangers tried to move away, take a casualty I think, but they should live. Level 2. One squad is still level 1. Kommando Nob gets away. Warlock does a special attack. And the map is turning red here. Both the flanks are red. Center VP turning red. And Oxo is even decapping Malgains natural here. Malgains is tier 3. Not far off getting a Nob squad. 292, 250. Warp Spiders and that Fire Prism taking out gens. Warlock, will he get away? Looks like he just about will. Saved by the spread shot of the Fire Prism. Here come Guardians, where we see a nice grenade here. Swampum used. There it is. Way too far forward though. And the Sluggers get in. And chase like hell. That +1 speed that the Nob leader gives them, they can really run riot. They are forced off there though. Needed a bit more support I think. .244, 250. Kommando Nob is infiltrated, so none of this stuff can see it. There is right in me crosshairs on the Warp Spiders. Good grief, wipes the squad. That is insane. Levels the Kommando Nob to 4. That was ridiculous. That's how dangerous it can be to infiltrate. And Oxo must be cursing himself right now. Death Dread being repaired by these Sluggers. Might take a while, but he does want this thing in the field stomping around. 2-1 for Oxo, 200, 250. And Nob squad on the way for Malgains. Oxo replaces those demolished warp spiders with another squad. Getting their Exarch. There is the 2-1. Really needs to push mid and now has Nobs to do it. Needed that line break unit. Sluggers don't really have the durability, despite Swampum, to line break against this kind of force. Nob squad of course do, and they have their huge hammers now. Mina and Greener as well will give them frenzy. Enemy crosshairs again, targeting those warp spiders, but cancelled it, it looks like. 156, 250. Here comes the Nob squad. Oxo trying to focus them down with everything he's got. Frenzy goes off, they are now invulnerable for a short time. He needs to get in here and support them though. Here comes the Death Tread, here comes the Orc infantry, and it's going to be a huge war. Fire Prism goes down in seconds. Grenade misses the Nobs. You see those momentum rings around the Nob squad, and they almost wipe those Guardians as well. Fire Prism is a huge loss for Oxo. There's an Eldritch Storm, nicely dodged by Malgains. The global nuke for Eldar, very dangerous versus vehicles. Warlock holding his own against the entire Orc army here. Only level 4. And is he going to pay for it? No, gets away. Death Tread seems to block the path of the Nob squad there. Sluggers take mid. 128, 250. Everything healing up a base. How is Oxo going to deal with these Nobs? Double shurikens perhaps? He is getting a shuriken cannon. Frenzy coming in. There are some stick bombs. Mostly dodged. It is the shuriken cannon, and Nob squads retreat before it gets a chance to do anything. Oxo losing his natural is now a triple for Malgains. There is enemy crosshairs again. Didn't do a lot then. Warp spiders are chasing the Death Tread, trying to get a haywire grenade, I think. Running right into sluggers. Maybe double shuriken, double warp spiders, but that will be a lot of units for Oxo to handle. 128, 171. Bright Lance trying to shoot the Kommando Nob, which is not really going to work. Haywire grenade did get this Death Tread, so it's now snared. Repaired though by sluggers. Warp spiders trying to cap. Oxo getting his natural back, also getting the center. Malgains really needs these Nobs around, and they are now fully upgraded with their Nob leader, so they are ridiculous right now, and they are not that far away from leveling as well. Warlock getting shot to bits, puts up his shield. Can he finish his cap? Should be able to. That's one shooter boy squad doing that damage. Level 3 now, and here we see Oxo setting up his defences. Double rangers, should be using kinetic shot to knock down those Nobs. Is not though, could have chained it there, allowing the shuriken to set up. He's going to try and set up, but it's not going to be able to, and full retreat. Just absolutely terrified of this Nob squad. Warlock getting chased by Death Tread, needs to be careful. This thing can put out some serious melee damage. And haywire grenade stops it in its tracks. Warp spiders also need to be careful. Bang. Took a shotgun to the face, still taking shotgun hits. This Kommando Nob has been devastating this game. 96, 147, a 2-1 for Oxo, and Malgains will try to cap mid now. Nob squad on the way back to base, sluggers on the way out. Death Tread is still alive. level 3 now. Bright Lance chasing. Kommando Nob decaps mid. It's a 1-to-1 85 147, but he's not going to risk the cap against that shuriken. Maybe go stealth and chuck some stick bombs on it. Shooter boys must be, no, still level 3. Both squads. Nob squad still healing up in base, and Oxo's retaking mid. 85 147. It's going to be a 2-to-1. Rangers bleeding these shooters still. Entire game they've been doing that. Right me crosshairs on those walk spiders. Oxo getting flashbacks and retreats them. Here comes sluggers. Warlock finishes the cap, uses Heart of Darkness and closes the distance on these shooters. Grenade nicely done, but Swampum gets them into melee combat. Really nice play in late game from both players here, controlling engagements all over the map. Sluggers looks like they've been forgotten about though, and they are going to go down. No, get away. Do they? No. Ranger finishes them off. Poor sluggers. Malgains now decapping mid. Nob squad coming in. They need to disrupt all this stuff here. We do see double shuriken from Oxo. And Storm Boys on the way from Malgains to try and counter all those setup teams. Death Dread needs repairs. Level 3. About a third of the way to level 4. 64 147. It's going to be a 2-to-1 for Oxo here. Malgains starting to look a bit thin. Double shooters, Death Dread and Nobs. Though Nobs is a pretty ridiculous unit right now. Coming in to cause havoc, getting into melee with the Warp Spiders, using Frenzy to break suppression and trying to close the distance. Shuriken now suppresses them, but it's not going to scare them off, I don't think, and needs to retreat, and does. Warlock getting special attack off. Level 5 this guy has done reasonably well, I think. Leading a line for the Eldar, has been their line breaker of sorts, but might go down here in retreat to these Nobs, and does. Ouch. Headbutted to death and then a hammer to the jaw. 39 147. Storm Boys on the field. Dangerous jump troops that can put out some serious DPS, have their Nob leader as well. Power melee. Nob squad decaps. Oxo's natural grenade misses, has been rather unlucky with those grenades in this game. Oxo. Nob squad pushing against all of this stuff and take out a shuriken cannon in seconds, and full retreat from Oxo, and the Nobs retreat as well. Excellent play by Malgains, keeping a Nob squad in there, keeping Oxo back in his base so he can't come out and cap, and Malgains is going to get a triple for it. That small piece of play gives him the triple. 32 129. More sluggers on the way from Malgains. Storm Boys moving up. Shooter Boys finish the cap. Rangers getting shots in. Here come Warp Spiders too. Knocked back. Storm Boys, what are they going to jump on? They jump on nothing. They went after the Warp Spiders. Now going after the Shuriken. And doing some ridiculous damage. Keeping them in there. Needs to support Shooter Boys forced off though. Warp Spiders don't want to get into melee with these guys. Knocked back, killed, 2 models left. Storm Boys still chasing them. And they just get out there in the end. 3 models left. Rangers were taking shots at them all that time. And Oxo needs to cap. It's a double. 32-49. Very, very close. The Nobs really have changed this game for Malgains. Banshees and Fire Prism, big losses for Oxo. And that rocket launcher Warp Spider loss was ridiculous. Dead Guardians? No, get away. Death Dread still going, he's level 4 now. 1265 hit points. And putting out some serious DPS, I imagine. So 1-1, 32-37. Warlock being very sneaky, but Nob squads are onto him. Can he finish the decap? No, goes down in 2 seconds flat. Sluggers scared off central VP. Double ranges have been used very well by Oxo, kept out of trouble, which is not easy with Nob squads running around. Death Dread now going to push without repairs. That Bright Lance is still there. Not targeting the Death Dread though. Death Dread ties it up immediately, the only threat to it, apart from that high wire grenade. Here come Guardians. Nob squad is capping. Toughest unit Malgains has, so he's using it to cap. Stick bombs scare off, but nothing else. 20-37, going right down to the wire here. Really could, ouch. Shotgun blast finished off those Warp Spiders. Spectacular Warp Spider losses in this game. Eldritch Storm on the central VP. Both players call GG. 2-1 for Malgains. 20-31. Rangers getting shotgun to the head. This Kommando Nob has been beastly. Level 8 now. 2 awesome Warp Spider wipes, and this might be a dead Ranger squad as well. They live. Guardian squad, sorry. Get away, they're level 4 those guys. And the 2-1 from Malgains is gonna be a triple, and it's all over for Oxo. Excellent back and forth game. Oxo just lost vital units very quickly at bad times. Those Banshees, Fire Prism, and those 2 Warp Spiders. Beastly work from the Kommando Nob. Level 8 at the end. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.